Well, in my last little clip, I talked to you about 4 kinds of souls. And now I want to sort of send the characters through a different analysis and talk to you about the 4 humors. Now, in our medical science, we have a lot of names for different bodily fluids. But in Shakespeare's time, their sense of anatomy and physiology was based around 4 bodily fluids. So I'm going to give you those names now. The first one is blood. The second one is bile. And the third one is black bile. And the fourth one is phlegm. Now, you're probably very familiar with phlegm as the thing that you've got too much of when you have allergies or when you have a cold and you're sneezing all the time. Bile is something we still have the same name for it. The idea behind each of these is that they match up with a personality type. So a person with too much phlegm, where their phlegm is predominant, the word for that is phlegmatic. Now, nowadays we think of someone as phlegmatic when they don't really have very much to say. Maybe it's their thoughts that are all choked up instead of another part of them. But in Shakespeare's era, someone who was phlegmatic would be considered too lazy, too passive. They really can't get themselves going. They've got an overgrowth of that particular bodily fluid. And so in our play, Henry IV, Part 1, Falstaff is phlegmatic. He is not phlegmatic in our modern sense of not speaking or being taciturn. He's phlegmatic in the sense of being lazy and not wanting to extend himself and just wanting to take life easy. Remember when he has made this appointment with his friends and they're supposed to commit armed robbery, and one of his friends has taken his horse and he's staggering around without his horse because he's so fat and he's sweating and he's panting. He's too phlegmatic for the life that would require a lot of activity. Now, the choleric person in this play, the person with too much bile, and the old word for this was choler, is Hotspur. He is angry. So the fiery Hotspur, and you can remember this by his nickname in the play, Hotspur, is emotional, as we said in the other video, and he's very hot-tempered, and that gets him into trouble. His father and his uncle say to him, "You are too choleric." Now, the other element that I was calling bile, black bile, I'm going to give you a word that we're very familiar with now, melancholy. Melon for dark, like melanin, the coloration in your skin. Black bile, choler, so melancholic or melancholy is when you have too much black bile. This is not, sort of a bodily fluid that we would identify today, but that was associated with being in a sad mood, having a depressive personality. And that is really the case with our king in this play. He's always dejected about something. In the first scene, he's depressed because his son is not as good as he should be. And later on in the play, he is having this argument with his son Hal, and he's saying, I'm sorry that I feel like crying. I am so disappointed in you. And so he corresponds to this particular bodily fluid that they called black bile. Now, Hal himself, the guy that I said in the other video was the sort of very nicely balanced amalgam of the three different souls, he partakes of the bodily fluid that blood that we consider, great to have. Obviously, you'll die if you don't have enough of it. But he has a sanguine temperament. And nowadays, if you were to look up sanguine in the dictionary, you wouldn't see bloody as the first meaning. You would see that someone was sanguine if they had an upbeat temperament, and they were happy, and they enjoyed things, and they have a good time. So kind of the opposite of melancholy. So Hal, once again, turns out to be the guy that's the best balanced and has the best personality in this play, whether you slice it according to chemistry or you look at it according to metaphysics.